Are we live? Yo, it's your guy Ben Duran.
And your boy SM Young.
Back again, the illest film reviewers in the goddamn galaxy. And today we're here to talk some Star Wars. And specifically, the future.
Dun dun dun.
We're back to the future. See what I did there? No, not really. It was kind of whack. So how are you feeling today, Sam?
Feeling pretty good, you know. This is a subject that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
You know, it's been in my mind for a while. Like, yo, we got to do this.
Like the Eagles losing to the Dolphins. Bitch ass
I don't even
niggas.
want to hear about that.
But today, as I said, we're going to be talking the future of Star Wars. And so let's get it cracking like we chiropractic bars. What do you see the future of Star Wars? Actually, no. Let's start it off by talking about Rise of Skywalker just for a moment because we talked about it in the last episode.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about it? Like, what do we...
So, honestly, like I said in the last episode, I think this Rise of Skywalker is not going to be that unifying film that people think it's going to be for the fans and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a lot of pissed off fans by the ends of it.
Yeah.
By the end of it, like I said, my prediction is called The Rise of Skywalker because they're going to kill off Kylo and Rey's going to take the name Skywalker. So that's not going to sit well. I'm not going to say it's not going to sit well with me. I'm just going to be like, okay, it's expected. I don't like it, but whatever.
Yeah. You really can't be mad at the decisions that Disney are making now. Like, you have your opinion, of course. Like, we have the freedom of speech in America. So anything that you say is, your word, you got to hold that to it. I feel like they shouldn't kill off, Kylo. They should have him have the moniker of Ben Solo and carry it on just like they did in the expanded universe. I want them to go. I want the Yuuzhan Vong to be, canon again because
Kylo fighting them, bro,
and have Kylo the
hero.
The hero, yeah, the Luke Skywalker, because they totally took a dump on Luke Skywalker. I couldn't even believe that. Dude, well, for me, it's like I want to see him carry out maybe he gets married to Mara Jade.
That would be sick.
Yeah, have him, because we never got that expanded universe that we saw in the comics, and I want to see the Sith that come back from outer space, from the unknown regions, come back and start up a new Sith empire, and all of a sudden the Yuuzhan Vong show up in the middle of all of that.
That would be sick, bro.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's because it would be an awesome plot twist. It'd be like, dude, like, these are the villains. Like, yo, like, we got, the Sith coming back. And then all of a sudden, it's like, there's somebody bigger.
Who the fuck is these niggas? Yo. And they had to team up together to defeat it. That would come together.
And I wouldn't mind if Rey was, still alive. Keep her around as kind of like, a Padawan.
Have you ever seen the second XXX movie with Ice Cube, The State of the Union, with Samuel L. Jackson? You know what? What you just said about Rey, Sam Jackson said it best. I told you should have killed that bitch. Kill her. Bye. I hope she gets decapitated. Not really. But it's like, take the actress, like, she wants to take a break from the character. Let her take a break. You know who would be dope, though?
Who?
A team-up movie with Kylo and Finn.
That would be dope.
That would be sick.
Well, that's what it is. Like, when The Force Awakens first came out, I thought they were going to make him, like, a Force sensitive.
I think he is.
I think he is. I think they went too far with the sequel trilogy about, the Force sensitives. Like, Holdo was a sensitive, she
Wait, Holdo was sensitive?
Yeah, apparently that's why she, all of a sudden, that's what they were saying, like,
why can't she just be stupid?
Why can't she just be the person that all of a sudden created the hyperspace ramming and
No, why can't she just be stupid and not tell her soldiers what her plans are, which leads them to start a mutiny because she sees him as a toxic male, but this is the motherfucker that literally has been winning battles for you. But this is like, it's like LeBron getting put on the bench. But
he literally had the plans to, bring back Luke Skywalker. He had the half the map. Why can't you trust this dude who was literally bringing half the map to, the rebellion?
Got tortured for
the resistance. Sorry, the resistance. I don't know why you're calling it the resistance. Like, it's more of a rebellion still. You're rebelling against force that's coming back out. You know, I don't know why they changed the name. It's really not a resistance.
Yeah. Yeah, so
when you had control,
we had absolute control,
Yeah,
but they kind of blew our shit up. So now we're called the Resistance, I guess. But yeah, so we just wanted to touch on Rise of Skywalker, and boom,
yeah,
first take, Stephen A. So what I was saying was, I sat when you proposed, this topic, I sat and thought about it. I took some notes, and I finally came to the conclusion that I feel Star Wars should focus on developing new characters on the big screen first. We'll talk about film or not. We'll talk about television and all the expanded material at a later time, but specifically film, because that's where they're falling short right now. And they need to make new characters, like kind of like a Rogue One-esque type of story, but don't set it like, oh, these characters are set during the battle of the second death. No, don't do that. Just make it a completely new thing. Like, that's what we need. Like, iconic characters, like Han Solo is iconic because George Lucas created them.
Yes.
You got to create these characters and build them and develop them, and they'll become iconic. We've seen that with Marvel. Like, Iron Man went from being a C-list character to outselling Batman and Superman. Yeah. Like, same thing with fucking Captain America.
Like, for me, it's like I want to see characters that are human, that you feel like, like just because they're a Jedi don't mean they can't die,
Exactly.
Like, like, that's why I proposed, the Yuuzhan Vong, because, with that, I feel like a lot of people would die, it would be a
bloodbath.
A bloodbath, yeah. And then you'd have the Jedi and the Sith working together, and they'd all take. Honestly, there'd be like that point where everybody's getting a bullet.
And that would be a chance to touch on what Rian Johnson was trying to do with The Last Jedi, which is like, it would be dope if, when the Jedi, hypothetically, if this happened, which is not, but if the Jedi and Sith had to come together to fight, I always forget how to pronounce it. How do you pronounce it? The Yuuzhan Vong?
The Yuuzhan Vong.
The Yuuzhan Vong. They had to come together to fight them, but they learned that the Force isn't dark or light. It's all encompassing. And that's like, because that's what Rian Johnson was trying to do.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, hey. But yeah, so that's what Rian Johnson was trying to do with Last Jedi. And it'd be dope if basically the Jedi and the Sith basically kind of ended their, 1,000 years war. Like, they have their differences, but they basically come to the conclusion that, well, we're both wrong with how we use the Force, so fuck it, let's be friends.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what, it has to feel, grounded. You can't make characters overpowered just because, like, we've had that character. We had Anakin Skywalker, who was literally, he was overpowered because Palpatine made him overpowered, He gave him them roles in order for him to... Come on.
Anakin's a created 2K player.
Yeah, bro, like, literally, like, dude, you set him up to be the hero of the Republic. Like, you gave him that power. You made him feel like he's the chosen one. You set him up with these situations. Like, you set him up literally to kill Count Dooku. Like, you gave him that role, and that's where it should feel overpowered. But with Rey and stuff like that, I can't get down with Rey because Rey is too overpowered.
Yeah, she didn't struggle. Like, even as bad as the prequels were, we saw Count Dooku cut off Anakin's fucking arm. Yeah. Like, we saw that. Yeah. It wasn't like he just came out to jump beating niggas. Like,
yeah, even Obi-Wan. Like, we didn't know about Obi-Wan's past to the prequels, and literally when he fought Count Dooku, they both got trashed. Mm-hmm. There was nobody like that. I still felt like, there's
at the same damn time.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the point I made, focus on creating these iconic characters. Like, I've come to accept Hayden Christensen. Like, even though, like, I hate sand. Like, it was
close and it's rough.
Like, DiCaprio was originally supposed to play Anakin, right?
Really?
Yeah, DiCaprio.
Yeah, I would see that.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Yeah,
but he read the script and he was like, "Oh yeah, nah, bro. I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling."
He's supposed to be a character who's.
I'm pretty sure he actually went and did the Departed instead. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
positive.
think, yeah, because I know at the time that also Michael Jackson was supposed to play Jar Jar Binks.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Oh man, he was like, nah. George Lucas was like, nah.
Nah, bro, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah. So that was just my point. Like, create these new characters and develop them, and they'll become iconic. So going off of that, this is gonna piss a lot of Star Wars fans off.
Let's hear it.
But this is why I think one of the films or film, whatever it is, we don't know yet. Rian Johnson should get his trilogy. And I'm saying that with the pretext of give him the freedom to create new shit instead of harping on the old. Because if you really watch The Last Jedi and peep its themes, that's what the whole thing is all about. And that's why it pissed fans off so much, because they're basically saying, he basically said, yo, nigga, fuck all this shit. I'm creating some new shit. Boom, here you go. But it's like, nah, we don't want that after what JJ, sculpted in the Force Awakens.
It's like putting down, fresh soil to plant a plant, and then all of a sudden you're laying down some mulch.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But, that I would definitely like to see Rian Johnson get another shot. I don't know, but I'm accepted.
I'm gonna make you go see Knives Out, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You go, bro. Come on. This and the reason why I'm saying give him that freedom, because look what he did with fucking Looper. I'm like, I'm one of those people. I'm still waiting for a sequel in that world. Like, that's a dope world to live in, and he created that off the dome, basically.
It would be cool to see in the next sequel, trilogy and stuff like that. The sequel trilogy.
What's up?
Ezra, dude. I want to
Oh
see
my God, yes.
It would be awesome. Have basically everything come together.
Because he's in the unknown regions, right? What if he's been brainwashed by the Yuvon song or the Yuzon? I don't. They sound like some African niggas name, bro. They sound like Nigerian scammers or some shit, bro. Like but the Yuzon Vong. Yuzon Vong.
Yeah.
The Yuzon Vong. What if they brainwashed him and he's basically like one of their military leaders or political leaders or some shit like that?
That'd be pretty cool. I feel like the next time you're gonna say Yuzon Vong, it'd be like Szechuan song or something like that.
Szechuan song. But that's it. I'm about to, they call him that instead. Szechuan song, bro. That's hot.
Yeah.
But Ezra, it's so many things you could do with Ezra, because it's like he was just gone at the end of the season, and they went out to look for him.
And that's what another thing is, we don't know what happened to Thrawn.
And we don't know what happened to Ahsoka and Sabine when they went out to look for him.
Yeah.
So. It's so much shit you can do, because the way they kind of set up Ahsoka going forward in the canon and shit like that, like with the cartoons, she's basically the knowledgeable. She's kind of like the Yoda.
Oh yeah.
Like she was the Yoda to Kanan and Ezra.
Yeah, but she was basically a great Jedi. She didn't follow the Jedi rules.
Don't say that around George.
Ooh.
There's no such thing as great Jedi.
Oh yeah, well, Freddie, what was that? Freddie Prinze.
There's no fucking such thing as great Jedi, okay?
Yeah.
He just went on
he went on the craziest rant, and I couldn't get.
Yo, he's the illest Fred from Scooby Doo, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
he's ill as shit, bro.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
It takes so much acting to pretend to be a woman. Now, remember in Scooby Doo when Daphne took over his body? Mm-hmm. he was Daphne, but yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely want to see Ahsoka come back for sure. I want to see these loose ends being tied up.
And she's a character I hate it. I hated the original introduction of Ahsoka.
Oh yeah.
It was so trash.
Well, that's what it was. It was almost like they were trying.
Sky Guy.
Yeah, yeah. What? And the introduction of Jabba's son who never came back. Dude, that dude disappeared faster than you could say, George Lucas.
Oh, you ready for a Star Wars film pitch? This is completely all jokes and bullshit, or is it? Yo, Kathleen Kennedy, hit me up. But what if they do an Inception movie with Jabba's son? He doesn't want to take over from his dad, and they go into his mind, and he says, I'm not going to be like my father. But that was because somebody incepted that shit into his head. No?
I'm not.
You wouldn't mind taking to see that shit? Inception with Jabba the Hutt.
You're fired.
Yeah, I'm fired. I'm sorry. It sounded fire in my head.
Oh yeah. It sounded more like you're fired. Yeah, dude. I can't get behind that. I like Inception for sure, but
For sure.
yeah, but
You ready for a hot take?
what happens
You
inside?
ready for a hot take?
All right, let's hear it.
Inception is trash, nigga.
Uh,
I can't even hold a straight face when I say that shit, bro. That shit is fire. But yeah,
would you like to see Nolan do a Star Wars film? He does do sci-fi. So.
surprisingly not. The reason why I wouldn't want to see Nolan do a Star Wars film is for the same reasons I wouldn't, people didn't like Rian Johnson's film. He's going to do exactly what Rian Johnson did. Because if you look at the Batman trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, it's very similar to, it's like basically deconstructed Batman. Like we had especially in the Dark Knight Rises, that's what pissed me off so much was like, dog, we're talking about fucking Batman, dog. Batman doesn't fucking give up.
Yeah.
And he took that storyline from the Dark Knight Returns. But I'm like, you didn't even do it right. Because like the whole time in Dark Knight Returns, in the comic and even in the animated series, they showed you like Bruce Wayne was forced. Like he physically couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Up until the point when he took that walk down Crime Alley and he saw the mutant gang and shit, like about to kill somebody's parents like they did his. He snapped.
Yeah,
it wasn't like he lost his bitch and then he just quit. Like that's not fucking Batman, bro.
Yeah.
So basically, to me, the way I look at the Dark Knight trilogy, it's amazing. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah.
Well, the first two films, I think Dark Knight Rises is trash. That's Nolan's worst film. But it's basically kind of like a Watchmen-esque deconstruction of the Batman character as we know him. Like even his origin, he was like he was kind of a dick. Like he wasn't even looking to learn. Like he was just. This is how I do it. This is how I fight crime. It literally took Ra's al Ghul to basically say, "Yeah, nigga, you're trash at this shit. Come train with me."
Yeah.
And don't get it wrong. Batman Begins and The Dark Knight are like amazing. They're two of the best films ever made. Like it's not like a top 20 film. I wouldn't say that, but they're up there for me.
Yeah.
But So I wouldn't want to see Nolan do it. Actually, you want to hear my director's list?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. So I'm going to start off with my first selection, which is obvious, Jon Favreau.
Yeah, of course, man.
But has been rumors going around. I don't know how true they are. I've just been seeing articles pop up on my feed, and I've been reading them.
Yeah.
Basically saying he might take over Kathleen Kennedy's job. And they're basically going to allow her to get a graceful exit because they don't like what she's doing with Star Wars. Yeah. Like, they don't like the toxicity within the fandom because it's literally making people not want to come do Star Wars films.
Yeah,
because it's like
look at
kind of like where DC was.
Yeah, look where Star Wars is in China. You know, they don't want to go see a film. You know, they're just like, dude, we're totally done with this shit. Get this fucking thing out of the.
Yeah, we're trying to fucking protest our government, not fucking watch this garbage.
It's like that fly that just won't leave you the fuck alone.
It's like shit, right?
But yeah, I would like to see Jon Favreau. He obviously proved himself with The Mandalorian so far. Of course, if you haven't seen our review for that or what we've talked about so far.
I mean, I think you're forgetting one very big thing that he did.
He brought back Iron Man.
Shepherded the MCU.
Yeah, he basically, dude, he was like, somebody who carried a baby and started off he was Obi-Wan, basically.
He was Obi-Wan.
Yeah, of the MCU, or Bail Organa.
Yo, Obi-Wan of the MCU, Jon Favreau. But, yeah, so I selected 3 other choices in case Favreau does take that, the head of Lucasfilm job, because he's going to be like a Feige-esque. He's going to produce. He's not really going to focus on directing. My 3 choices are, so starting off, Matthew Vaughn.
Okay, yeah.
And because of First Class, this is the guy that brought X-Men back. Like
I loved First Class.
Amazing.
Dude, it was great. Yeah. It was like a new introduction, but at the same time, it felt kind of almost like it was connecting to what happened originally.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude, I can get behind this. Yeah.
Well, and that's why he was so pissed off about them bringing Bryan Singer back, which Days of Futures Past. Amazing. But he wanted to completely redo the canon because he was like, yo, y'all fucked the timelines up so bad. Just let me redo it. And they were going to let him do it. But Bryan Singer saw how good First Class was. He wanted to come back.
Dude, it's like drawing a line straight across.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is what separates. And then all of a sudden they draw a line under that and then a line under that. And they're like, yeah, this is the timeline,
It's like, no.
It's like, dude, that's like a bowl of ramen noodles.
That's why that Deadpool joke was so hilarious. He was like, I'm taking you to see the professor. Which one? McAvoy stored. But my second choice, because I want, remember when I said that Rogue One-esque type of feel? I still want that darker feel. Like I love the original trilogy, but I love the darkness in Star Wars when they, can do it. Ryan Coogler, I think he's the best at that. Like obviously Black Panther, the Creed films. Well, he did. He directed the first one. Chris Stapleton Jr. came in and did the sequel to the original Creed, but he still produced. But even something like Fruitvale Station, like he's just an amazing director.
Yeah.
He knows how to keep that happy feel along with the darkness and balance that. So that's what Star Wars is about, balance. So that's why I said Ryan Coogler. But if we're going to talk about somebody bringing back that nostalgic feel, but still creating their own and basically like a toxic fan environment, it's nobody better than Patty Jenkins. Like what she did with Wonder Woman. Like
I could definitely get behind
that's a film that should have like we're talking about toxic fandom where it's like basically, everybody's argument is about, whether it's race bending characters or gender swapping characters.
If it's equal, yeah.
Wonder Woman, like, niggas should have shitted on that movie, but it was like,
I loved Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman was amazing because it basically Patty Jenkins said, "Yeah, I'm just making basically the first Superman film. It just happens to be a woman." And that's what was so dope about it. So I think she can bring those sensibilities. Like I would like to see her direct Daisy Ridley, even though I know that's not gonna happen. But like Patty Jenkins is a solid director, and that's somebody I think that could bring the fandom back together.
Yeah, we definitely need the glue to stick us back together because we're all separate.
Yeah, we're separate, man. We're like the fucking
me and Caleb. We get along on our views, but
we're literally like the fandom is like the Avengers, like after the fucking helicarrier got attacked. Like we're just everywhere. Like I feel like the Hulk sometimes. I'm just naked. Like I don't even know what the fuck's going on right now. Some old ass white dude's like, oh yeah, you were big, green, and mean, dude. Like that's just how I feel right now.
Now you want to clean my hubcaps? Dude, weird.
So weird. But so those are my three choices. Matthew Vaughn, obviously, with First Class, the Kingsman films, and Kick-Ass. Like people forget he did Kick-Ass. Yeah. And Ryan Coogler of Black Panther fame. I'm hyped for the sequel. They actually just announced that Doctor Doom might be the villain.
Yeah, well, maybe we could do that another day.
That's a story for another time.
Start up a Marvel.
Yeah, but and Patty Jenkins. Who would be some filmmakers you thinking of? I heard you throw Chris Nolan's pompous ass out there. I make prestigious films.
All right, my first choice would be John Carpenter.
Ooh.
I would like to see kind of like not a connected to the, trilogy wise. I want to see something that's like almost like a crew of shipment.
Like a standalone?
Kind of like a horror.
Oh, a horror. Oh, like Aliens?
Yeah.
Or The Thing?
Like, you ever remember in Force Awakens when they're being chased down by that thing?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that, something like an Alien-esque kind of ordeal. And, you know him with, the practical effects.
Theory.
Okay, well, you gotta wait.
Zombie stormtroopers, man.
Dude, that would be awesome. Well, in the books, they honestly did. What happened was the rebels I'm pretty sure it's the rebels, came upon a ship, and they were working with, something that wasn't supposed to be worked with, and that's what created that. That would be awesome. I would love to see something like that. I'm kind of a horror-esque kind of person too, as well. So I would love to see something horror-wise. I want to see something where you feel kind of like, dang, dude, this is in the Star Wars universe. I would never expect this. Mm-hmm. You're looking at Jedi and you're like, oh, dude, like everything's saved. And then all of a sudden you're looking at these people that are doing these shipment containers, and then they get stuck in a situation where they can't get out of, and they're adding planets every single day. It's crazy how many planets are being added to the Star Wars universe that you never even heard of.
Mandalorian doesn't even like to name them.
Oh yeah. Well, the new episode they did.
They did?
Yeah, they did.
Fucking finally.
Finally, I know. It took them long enough. 3 episodes. But yeah.
Sound like a disgruntled fan.
Yeah, but the guy who got along with John Carpenter on his practical effects. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but dude, the practical effects in The Thing were just amazing. Dude, it was amazing.
That's why the fucking prequel or whatever was so trash, because they just did straight CGI.
Yeah. And, or I would like to see Zack Snyder do it. Cause,
Really?
Yeah, Zack Snyder would be awesome for it.
That's a hot take. He was in my head for one too.
Yeah,
Honestly,
dude,
he was in my head for one too.
Well, that's what it is. We hashtag release that.
Ooh,
Zack
what about Zack Snyder doing a Darth Bane film?
What? Oh, dude. Well, that's what it is.
With Tom Hardy as Bane.
Before we started, recording and stuff like that, we talked about if it was going to be prequel or a sequel. And, for me, I want to see some Old Republic stuff. I want to see something where, it feels like they're finally establishing what came before, because everything's all in scrambles, We don't know.
Like the Old Republic is like a fog. We don't really know what happened.
That's what I'm saying. Before, it was like almost like a crystal clear picture,
Yeah.
But then as Disney bought it, it was like, oh my goodness, what just happened?
They got Thanos snapped out of existence.
Infinity War up in this bitch.
Yeah. Ooh, you ready for another director name I'm going to throw out there?
It's here.
You brought up John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Zemeckis, man.
Dude.
He was supposed to direct a Flash film for DC.
Oh, yeah.
But he would be perfect for Star Wars, bro. Like, even like, oh my God, like his that last film he did with Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard, Allied, phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
it reminded me of Casablanca a lot. Like it was a really good film.
That was the one where they were stuck in He was a spy, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it took place in the 40s. Yeah,
and it was during World War II. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say I'm gonna start saying what this film is, and I don't remember. So
yeah, but it was an amazing film. Like, and it showed that he still got it. A lot of people didn't go out to see it because a lot of people like. They know the Back to the Future films, but they don't know like, oh, it's Robert Zemeckis. Like he's an amazing director, so that's somebody I would love to see do it. Oh, we ready for another name out there?
Let's go.
God,
that's not a name.
The guy, God, yeah, he's an amazing director. Oh God, just created the universe.
Yeah.
If you believe in that,
director of life.
If you believe in that sort of thing, but we're not going into that.
Dear Lord Kanye.
Dear Lord Kanye. Follow God. What the fucking Joe Johnston, who directed the Rocketeer, Captain America, the First Avenger.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, like you want somebody that can create the new, because to me, Captain America, the First Avenger is such an underrated MCU film, bro.
Oh, yeah, dude,
it was like Indiana Jones, man.
I'm telling you, at the time when Captain America first came out, it was around the time that they still had the Avengers, Earth's Greatest Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I was just watching an episode and my parents were just like, yo, let's go out and go watch the new Captain America movie that's coming out. I was like, what? I was like, you guys want to go see a Captain America movie?
Facts, bro.
And dude, when I went out to go see it, I was like, what?
Yeah,
I was like,
bro.
dude. And plus, having, what's his face? Red Skull, what's his name?
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. And
yeah.
he would be an awesome character to put into Star Wars.
He either is going to be a Sith Lord or a fucking like a dickhead Imperial.
Dude, he'd be awesome as like a Sith Marauder from like the Old Republic. Dude. That would be awesome.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? I know we're going off Star Wars here, but I gotta say this, dude. They had a deleted scene from Endgame where they're basically like studying the Infinity Stones to plan out time traveling back to go and get it. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. Sorry, but Rhodey's like, "Oh yeah, so you like crashed the plane in the water? Why didn't you just get like a parachute, bro?" And Cap's just sitting there thinking about it. He was like. So Joe Johnston to me would be amazing. Hugo Weaving, we need him in Star Wars, man.
Yeah, dude, I would. Oh my God, and I just like, dude, he would definitely play a great Sith character. Now, what would you rather have the most? Would it be a Old Republic or a sequel trilogy?
You're asking me personally what I want. Personally, what I want, fucking Old Republic, bro. You already know why I want to see Old Republic.
Yeah.
Because my favorite fucking Star Wars character is Darth Revan, and this motherfucker isn't even fucking canon yet.
At one point, they were about to give the go-ahead, and Darth Revan and Malik were going to be...
in
Clone Wars. Yeah, dude. And it's just like, what a wasted opportunity. We have Bane. Bane has been canon since, the Rule of Two were, still... in the prequel trilogies. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's always one. There's always a master.
But that saying is so dope. It's always one who has the power and one to crave the power.
Yeah.
Like that shit.
Even like, they like Maul even still followed the rule of 2, which is crazy. Like I would like if I was Maul, dude, I would start going out and be like, "You're a Sith apprentice. You're a Sith apprentice."
Straight over with the Sith.
Yeah.
You're a Sith apprentice. You're one. You're one. Everybody's a Sith. Woo!
So what I want to see is
Yoda's like, I'm a Sith part-time.
So would you rather see pre-Bane or
pre-Bane?
Okay.
Like I want to see straight up Jedi army
That's
and
what I'm
Sith
saying.
army.
They have so many years to cover before the prequel trilogy.
And that's what pissed me off with JJ too. How
like,
do you get the fucking actors from the raid and you have them do nothing?
Oh yeah.
Like literally, man. Like the raid. If you've never heard of the raid, like also known as the Rad.
The Raid Redemption.
Dog, like some of the best action. It's one of the best action films you will ever see in your life.
My best favorite scene is where he kicks the dude through the door and the other dude's fighting him across the hallway and he just slams the dude. Like he literally does a kind of like a suplex but backwards and he slams the dude's head into the broken door and goes right through his jaw. Like,
dude,
what? Come on.
Are you talking about the machete fight scene?
Yeah, dude.
That shit was sick, bro.
Yeah,
that shit was sick. Yeah, so it's like, to me, Star Wars needs cool shit also.
Yeah.
Like, to me, Star Wars doesn't have cool shit in it like it used to. Like, Rogue One, that whole, the big battle sequence, that was dope. I even thought some of the scenes in Solo were dope.
Yeah.
Like, when it came to action. I'm specifically talking about action right now. Like, Star Wars doesn't have dope action like that. The throne room scene, amazing, but it's like I need more. I love character development. I love story. I'm not like a Michael Bay type of film viewer.
Explosions
like tits. Oh, her ass. Like I don't need
Megan
that.
Fox right there.
Yeah, but when you do action, like make it good. That's why I want Zack Snyder to be in Star Wars too, because the fucking Batman versus Superman warehouse. I shed tears for that, bro.
Yeah,
like I'm like, this is the Batman.
That's what I'm saying. Like I wanna get that feel of what I get when I play Heroes versus Villains in Battlefront 2, what Battlefront 2 is now. Like, I want to have them sequences where it's like, dude, like, this is like so many lightsabers, bro. I can't even tell what's going on. Like, it looks like a glow stick party.
Holy shit, man.
It's like White Chicks when Terry Crews was sitting there, dum, dum, with the glow sticks. Yeah.
You know the saying, once you go black, you gonna need a wheelchair. But
and he pushes the girl with the wheelchair.
Hey, Latrell.
Yeah.
Like, get her out of here. But yeah, so like just put cool shit in there, man, because that's honestly that's one of the ingredients that's been missing from Star Wars is cool shit. And then, focus on the characters as well. Don't just give us shitty ass characters when you develop these new characters or explore the characters from the past, as you suggested. I'm completely open to Old Republic, but like you said, you asked me personally, I would want Old Republic shit. But if I'm going to be a gambling man, they're going to do some shit going forward in the future, and it's going to involve basically the actors who still want to stick around. So you're probably not going to see Oscar Isaacs in it. You're probably not going to see Adam Driver in future Star Wars films.
Well, that's what it is. I feel like if I would roll some dice, I'd still put my money on Old Republic, because you got to think, look what, there's only a couple Sith Lords, in these movies that are turning people dark side. What happens when you have an army of Sith, dude? You totally have everybody getting pulled to the light and the dark. They wouldn't know what to do.
But the reason why I wouldn't want it to be a film is because I think I said this in the last episode. With the Old Republic, they're literally sitting on a Game of Thrones TV show.
Yeah.
Like literally politically everything. Because that was the problem with the Sith, which is why Bane created the rule of 2. It's because they could never gain a foothold over the Jedi because they were always fucking killing each other off.
Yeah, yeah.
So Bane was just like, fuck all y'all niggas, there's only 2 of us now.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then, if they were going to do a Sith, not a Sith, a sequel trilogy, another sequel trilogy. I'm going to keep saying that.
Super sequel trilogy.
Yeah, super sequel. So,
we need to build a super duper fucking trilogy, man.
Super Sally
Super Sally sequel.
Yeah. So,
trying to say that 5 times fast.
Oh, God. I wouldn't. I already got a lisp, dude. I can't even say that. I'd like, Super Yeah. So, what I would want to see is Darth Krayt, dude. I want to see them introduce him in. All right, we're gonna bring up the TV show already. Obi-Wan. I want to see that him. You know, he's a Tusken Raider. You know, he starts up the rule of one. You know, but it's one Sith ruling over multiple. You know, it's not.
Gotcha.
It's not just a rule of two. You know, where it's one guy takes a hold of everything, and there's more than one Sith. You know, I would love to see that. You know, I'm tired of seeing this rule of two kind of like Dookie man.
Dookie man. I mean, if you think about it, this nigga Palpatine literally like had backups for his backups. This nigga like Vader, like if Palpatine was like a pimp, Vader was like his bottom bitch. Like, yo, like no, you here to stay, nigga. Like you're not as good as you used to be, but you're here to stay, nigga.
Well, that's what it is. Like in Force Awakens, where he's like he literally, I think it's at the ending of the first game where he kills off Starkiller kills off Vader, and then literally he's like Palpatine throws a ship in the Starkiller, and he ends up becoming like how Darth Vader was, and he's like, well, now that you know we've basically completed everything, you're gonna do my bidding, and I'm gonna toss you aside just like Vader.
I mean, you kind of killed the last nigga, so I gotta replace him. Here you are.
Yeah. And basically he's gonna do the same. Like, bro, like everybody was Palpatine's bottom bitch. You know, you can't really get past that.
Palpatine's definitely a top.
Hashtag save all the bottom bitches.
But so we talked about the past a little bit. We talked about the future, and like honestly, like I just want to make one last closing statement on everything.
Okay.
And this is state of the Star Wars universe address. Star Wars is nowhere near where the DCU was. Like, remember when they had them when the DCEU had them back-to-back bombs? Like it was like Batman versus Superman, boom. Then it was Suicide Squad, boom. And they were like, oh, shit. They were like a chicken running around without a head. They were just making impulsive decisions. Star Wars is nowhere near there.
But it's getting around that time.
It's getting on that time.
It's kind of getting scary for us.
Yeah, so it's like, they need a surefire hit. Like that's why I suggested Patty Jenkins in my list of directors. They need a hit that's a hit. It makes the money, it makes the studio, happy, it makes the suits happy. But they also need a film that's going to bring the fans together unanimously.
Yes.
Whether it's the diehards or just the casual fan, it has to be loved unanimously across the board.
And you have to listen to the fans. We've told you many times that we don't want that Solo film, all right? We didn't want that Solo film. We wanted a Obi-Wan film. We wanted a Boba Fett film. But what came out? The Solo film.
The Solo film. A Boba Fett film in the vein of Dread. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, dude. It would have been awesome for, like a character to kind of come back. And, it's like, well, now they're doing that with Palpatine, but it would have been awesome to have Boba Fett show up and
play it again
in the sequel trilogy, dude. That would have been crazy if Boba Fett killed Captain Phasma. Like literally, all of a sudden, Kylo was like, I need to go out and go outsource for new villains, and he comes across Boba Fett, and Boba Fett literally is standing right next to Phasma, and Phasma says something so wonky that he goes, pew!
Yeah, and
then walks away. He was like,
she's a bitch.
Some
shit like that. She's trash.
I can never be replaced.
So yeah, like, and that's and another thing, like it needs to be loved unanimously, and they can't pull that nostalgia card again.
Yeah, no more nostalgia.
No more. Like I'm getting tired. Like, and I'm not saying I'm getting tired of Carrie Fisher. I will never say that. I'm getting tired of them showing Carrie Fisher to pull on our heartstrings. Stop it. Your story should do that. Like you're pulling these cards. You're showing us Carrie Fisher. You're showing us the Millennium Falcon. You're showing us so many shots of Chewie because you don't have a good story.
Yeah.
You know it, and that's like, take the time, take the lessons you learned from the sequel trilogy and build on those and grow. That's what DC did.
Yeah.
DC bounced back, and they came back with Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam. They gave you 3 hits. And incredible films, too, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So that's what Star Wars needs to do. Even though Solo wasn't a bad film, it's not the film that fans wanted. It wasn't loved. It was trying
to literally feel off of, everybody's like, oh my God, Han Solo died. And then we're like, we got a Han Solo film. Bro, like, he's supposed to be dead. We're supposed to be feeling for that.
Yeah.
You can't just all of a sudden bring him back in a prequel, movie and just make us, have our hearts like, you're like, dude, now I look at Han Solo's death as a, as something I could just brush off the shoulder. Like, bro, like he wasn't just,
it sucks because you had so many dope characters in there and performances. Like, I love the character of Kira. I thought she was an amazing character.
Yeah.
I even liked Homeboy's character, dude who plays Paul Bettany. I loved his character. I would like to learn more about his character.
Yeah.
And to me, the best performance in the movie, Childish Gambino as Lando.
Yeah.
He was amazing. Like,
and that's what it is. It's like they literally set up more plot holes. They literally were like, oh, well, Darth Maul's back, but we're not gonna know what we're gonna do with him because Rebels literally killed him off. It's like what is he gonna do? Like,
well, didn't that take place? So like, when did Solo take place?
Before Rebels, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, exactly where? Because we know that Maul got ousted from Mandalore.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what it is. We don't know. We don't know exactly. Pretty sure somebody knows, but I don't.
Yeah.
I because when they were first putting out this Solo film, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, clone troopers are coming back. Like, we're going to see clone troopers at their finest. And then, they had mud troopers. They had storm troopers. It's like, dude, if you're going to set it close to Revenge of the Sith, at what point do they oust these clone troopers? We don't know exactly. But the only time I know is when I'm looking at somebody else's YouTube videos. Come on, like, can we get an established... What is going on in this universe?
Yeah.
It's kind of it gets me heated. Kind of.
It's very annoying.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so just going for just to encapsulate everything we've put into this tasty, flavorful episode for you.
Hell yeah.
If we're gonna go back to the past, make it cool. But if we're gonna go to the future,
make it worthwhile.
Make it worthwhile and build your own iconic character. Stop relying on the nostalgia of the past.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, and I'm pretty sure Sam can agree, that's all Star Wars fans are asking for. That's literally all we want. We want to see cool shit. You stay faithful to the canon and to the lore, and build new shit.
Yeah, I want to feel like the universe is hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, like give me that shit. Give me that feeling, man.
Yeah.
So I guess that'll wrap it up.
And subscribe.
Subscribe, comment, let us know how we're doing. We're new in this game. We're new to this shit, man.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be more content coming to the page pretty soon as well outside of Star Wars. So you might see Sam on there too. You might see some new faces on there as well.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in to the Filmatic, the Star Wars Sunday, and I hope you guys have a good week.
Yeah, see you guys later.
May the force be with you, and peace.